Hi, and welcome to today's video where I'm doing a second attempt to address a few things and give you some updates about things that are in progress and some things that will be. Lately I've been working a lot, and from where I was or were previously close to a personal state of bankruptcy and starvation, I think it should be understandable that I would need to do this work regardless, but my approach to this situation and the life in general is somewhat dictated by having gone through that experience, when there is an extra degree added of anxiety and necessity to this thing that I'm doing, because I'm still unsure if I'm going to be able to continue doing the things that I more or less lived for doing, with the world being what it is right now. And I'm going to talk about this in a separate video, because this is an update mainly, and not just me rambling and drinking coffee. Though that's what it's going to seem like to some of you, which is fine. You're not completely wrong. But what I want to address in this specific video is not only the videos that I've been working on, but also why I haven't been posting videos the past months, and that's connected to what I just briefly mentioned here, that I've been in and out of a state of panic and anxiety, where I've been needing to focus any of my energy, which is connected to time, on simply surviving and rebuilding, because I managed to break myself, and it's never something that is good to do without having a plan how to either continue down or having a strategy going back upwards. And it wasn't planned, it just came out of necessity once again, where I simply, out of a need to save money and avoid people, and having a time where I didn't have working internet either, so I wasn't able to keep contact with those near and dear to me. I didn't have any means to eat properly. So my simple solution, by having plenty of wine and other alcohol stored from what I've made over the years in my attic and basement, is simply to, or was simply to, keep drinking, to limit my hunger, and hopefully fall asleep and repeat, while trying to maintain a creative state, which led to a few songs that I feel will be pretty impressive once they are recorded, hopefully the coming winter. And some in the autumn, I guess. I can't say for sure. But I spent a majority of 2 months in a quarantine, drinking and composing. And that was earlier this year, before I would know how things would evolve. But one thing that I knew was that I may not have the time or energy to do this again later. And I wasn't sure how I would even survive, because I didn't have any income, I wasn't getting any orders, and I don't really have anyone that I can ask for help. And due to not having regular work, I'm not in a position where I can find other ways to receive funds, as some others may. While now, with the world looking as it is, the thing that I may have beyond anything else in the coming months may be time to record and produce and compose. But the issue, which is what I'm going to dwell a bit more on in the video about my feelings and thoughts on this, is that I'm simply not sure that it's going to matter. And what I mean about that is that no matter what I do, if I can't even get more people than those few of you watching this to subscribe and support me through places like Patreon, I don't feel how doing this kind of things with my time and energy would be anything else than another aspect to a suicide, because I'm using all my energy and time to create, but I'm expected to give everything away for free by a majority of people. And for some reason I see mediocre, meaningless acts getting signed by labels and keep getting praise, while I'm doing what I consider to be meaningful, spiritual, and creative work. That keeps getting unnoticed. And this, of course, personally feels devastating, but I try my best to not whine about it too much, because it's out of my personal control. And it's not your responsibility either to support or finance me. I'm aware that you all, just like me, have your bills and your needs. And that's why I'm living in fear and doubt that I will be able to continue doing what I exist to do. Because there is always purpose for me in being connected to the path of spirituality and creativity, which is completely connected to nature and long bouts of isolation. But obviously, I need some extent of support, and I'm not at a position to make personal sacrifices beyond what I'm already doing. Because doing this isn't free. But as you all know, nothing really is nowadays. So, getting back to the updates. And why I've been postponing some things is simply out of what I've been talking about previously here. That my time and energy, which are obviously connected, have been severely limited, and the few hours that I've had free and not working has been something that I needed to focus completely on making a few paintings and orders that I did receive the past months. And I'm not going to send out something just for the sake of sending it out. When I send someone a painting, it has to mean something. And it's not something that I just throw together, no matter what it may look like to some people. And that goes for everything that I do, and I'm aware that that may be and seem and often also is counterproductive, because I put a very big amount of pressure on myself to do things a certain way, which is also why I'm trying out a different setup here, because it either got too light or too dark, and I wasn't satisfied with that. It's always a struggle with the environment, I guess. So, once again, why I haven't been uploading videos lately is due to that I haven't had the energy to think through the subjects properly from my perspective, and with time thinking about the things that I need to do and say, and how I've been doing some of my videos. I was starting to feel a bit like maybe it's better that I just get back into the habit of doing them and think and worry a bit less about the presentation and making preparations for what I'm going to say. Because it's not like I don't know something about the subject that I'm diving into and dwelling upon and sharing. It's my own experiences after all. So I think even though I would have preferred a bit more studied and academic perspective and execution of these videos that I wanted to do, that doesn't exclude the possibility of me making such a presentation in the future. And to promote and help making this sooner and coming through on my old promise of different topics that I have said that I will discuss and share my experiences on, of, or about, will be something that I do then. So it's going to be a bit more free-form, stream of consciousness approach. And I sincerely hope that those of you who have been supporting me will feel that it will be worth and have been worth the wait. So I think it's going to be a few interesting videos, and it's subjects that I care deeply about and that have affected me as a person and composer greatly over the years, and to summarize, have made me a better individual, and certainly, most definitely, a better artist. So once you are starting to see more of these videos again, as I'm backtracking, there will be more videos coming out more frequently for a while. And that's simply because I feel that obligation towards those of you who have been supporting me. and due to the simple fact that the things that I would like to manufacture are things that I can't do different things without risking to lose something that I'm not able to be or do without, like this place, for example. But as I have a few weeks and months without new videos, that's going to be the main focus the coming weeks, to regain that momentum and give you back the videos that those few of you have been paying for, and of course also doing what I can to actually produce some of the items that I want to reward you and others with for supporting me, while also giving the opportunity to others to support me. Because obviously nothing that I've been doing or wanting to offer have been incentive enough to people to subscribe, and I feel to some extent a personal disappointment about that, because I honestly thought that from previous experiences that when I create or offer something, there has been a larger interest in it than a handful of people. But with the world in its current state, and maybe my career or me as a person, I honestly don't know. But whatever it is that I'm doing doesn't seem to be working, or my approach to this medium was wrong for the audience that I have. And for that I apologize, because I misinterpreted, misjudged the situation that I put myself in, which is why I've overpromised and underdelivered, which is something that I completely despise doing. And that's another reason why I'm hard on myself, and why I have this sense of obligation to strive for something higher and more meaningful and out of a higher quality. Because there's a limit to the amount of disappointment I'm prepared to go through myself or inflict upon others. And I sincerely hope that those of you who have been waiting for the new videos will appreciate them and feel that whatever it is that I'm able to share with you this year will be something that gives you something back. And as always, thoughts, comments, ideas, suggestions on things that I can talk about and share, or if you have other questions, they are more than welcome in the comments. And of course, those of you who do support me on Patreon, which is the main audience that I'm addressing in this video, rather than commenting on YouTube, if you comment on this post on Patreon, which is a place I haven't been able to access lately because the computer that I've been using to edit my videos is old, and for some weird reason I can't update my browser because of the operative system on it is too old, and I have no means to update that, and because of that I can't access Patreon. I can't log in. So finally, after working a while, I've been able to get a new computer, which means that I can record and produce and share videos like this and others once again. Most likely at a high rate and high quality as well. But as I was going to say before I interrupted myself, those of you who support me on Patreon, comment on the post at Patreon what you have wishes or requests about. As for any content that I may be able to create for those of you who support me on Patreon, and I will do my very best to deliver that within the means I have. With that, I thank you for staying this long and listening. I thank those of you who support me or who has been supporting me, and I thank those of you who will. Hopefully together we can grow and find some deeper meaning and purpose out of all of this chaos. Take care.